O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX, $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra, $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. I'd like to wish you a happy holiday season and a healthy and prosperous new year from your favorite lawyers at Welt and Rayom.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are feeling half as fantastic as I am, because I don't really care what the Dolphins are doing, because, you know, I'm just riding I'm riding this wave, baby. That's all. We're approaching 106 right now. The morning is really, really good. So, you know, it sucks. Our Dolphin world sucks, but I was already off that bandwagon, you know, after the Colts game. So I didn't think they were going to go anywhere. Anyway, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the pain, obviously. I'll be talking about Dolphin pain with a smile on my face, because I'm sorry, reality is better than the fantasy of football. Just saying, you know what I mean? It's just it's a whole different ball game for those of us that are on the Bitcoin bandwagon here. You know, it's just different. So sorry if there's a smile on my face while we're talking about this crap here with the Dolphins. But, yeah, I can only tell you this. You want to deal with the Dolphins? Be the boss. Get on this one, baby. Get on this one. Are we at 106 yet? Let's see. All right, 105.395. All right. Let's go. Let's get to like 110 in this broadcast here and have a little fun. Ira Winderman will join us at 11:30. So we will talk to Iras. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the hell out of the like button. We got a long off season. We got a frustrating off season ahead of us because no one is going to be satisfied. Okay. And, that's the worst part about all of this. You've been unsatisfied as a Dolphins fan for a long, long time. Well, get ready, folks, because you will continue to be unsatisfied. You know why? There's all kinds of different people in different camps, but we're all unhappy one way or another. Some of you want the entire thing blown up, Tua gone, front office gone, head coach gone, Ross sell it, right? Some of you want at least Ross to get rid of the general manager, the coach, and the quarterback. Some of you just want to get rid of the quarterback. Some of you just want to get rid of the coach and the quarterback. Some of you, yours truly, wants to just get rid of the coach. Whatever it is, you will not be satisfied. And that's the thing that you have to understand going into the offseason. Prepare yourself. You will be unsatisfied. They are not going to do any of that. So, lots of you will be complaining. You'll be on the chat board, fire this guy, fire that guy. They're not firing anybody. They're going to bring everybody back. They're not trading the guy you want them to trade. So, what can I tell you? That's the only thing, and if they ever do it, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, then we'll get to talk about it. But till then, at this point, there are no signs that are going to be any changes at any level whatsoever. Okay? Next year, they will come back and try to correct what they have now. So prepare yourselves to be unsatisfied no matter what it is you want to happen. Doesn't matter what it is, what level it is. You are not going to get what you want. Okay? So just so you'll know, prepare yourself for that. That's the way it's going to go, unfortunately. So it's not something that is I can look forward to next year because of this. See, in my eyes, next season is done because you're coming back with Mike McDaniel anyway. You could give Mike McDaniel, it's like, it's kind of like giving Messi everything and then he chokes. I mean, Messi is one of the biggest chokers in South Florida sports history. Nobody's been given more to win a championship and failed than Lionel Messi in South Florida. The easy league, the MLS. They just to kind of piggyback here, okay? News story now that just came out. Chris Henderson, the general manager of Inter Miami, who's done a fabulous job, by the way, is now in Atlanta. He leaves Miami. He now works for Atlanta, the team that eliminated Miami, that barely made the playoffs, that already has a cup. Okay, something, Inter Miami's been trying to get. And it shows you, it's interesting, right? Stephen Ross has all the money in the world, and he can't figure it out. Jorge Mas has all the money in the world, and they can't figure it out. The guy brought the best player in the world, put an all-star team around him, gave him 3 other international stars and a loaded MLS roster, one of the best, if not the best roster in MLS history, and the dude chokes out in the first round. And you have ownership that is constantly changing now. This will be their third GM. This will be like, I don't know, what is this, Sean? Is this going to be their fourth coach now or fifth coach? We don't count interims. Don't count the interims. Fourth coach, right? Fourth coach. They've only been around a few years, like 5 years. It's so screwed up, right? If you make constant change, you're not going to get anywhere, right? And that's Inter Miami's proving that there. I mean, they're just trying to buy a title. That's what they did. Oh, let's just go buy a couple of international superstars. It'll be easy. Hell, you couldn't even get out of the first round. And Messi had 2 months to rest before that game because he was healing up from his ankle. It's interesting, right? One billionaire can't get it right and is making all kinds of changes. They just got rid of the best general manager, or one of the best general managers in the business. Because, of course, they're doing whatever the hell they want, not what the general manager wants. And the instability of Inter Miami is amazing. And then you look at the other billionaire who's very loyal, and they can't find the right combination either. Having the money doesn't give you all the answers, because one guy you thought did all the right things in Jorge Mas, right? I mean, you brought Messi, you brought Busquets, you brought Alba. I mean, are you kidding me? Oh, wait a minute. Suarez. You got one of the best young goaltenders in the league. You got a whole bunch of young guys like Campana who could start with a bunch of teams, and Kremoski and all that. And you couldn't get out of the first round. You got one of the best GMs in all of the MLS, in Chris Henderson, former Miami Fusion player. I mean, it's just weird. Then you got Stephen Ross, who's got all the money in the world, and he can't put the right combination of people in order to get over the top. Crazy. Crazy. Neither one can figure out the right combo. Wow. Oh, loaded. Ho-Yoon, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, my friend. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and we appreciate it immensely. Thank you, Ho-Yoon. Very kind of you, sir. All right. What else do we have here? Let me see. All right. What do we have on the chat board? Oscar Rojas. Good morning, sir. In Melbourne, Steve Chapman is in. Not much else to say. Our team sucks. Mediocrity would be an improvement. Not much to look forward to. Let's hope Big O is wrong and they fire McDaniel and get Vrabel. Let's hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong in a big-time way, dude. I hope you guys get to send in tweets and posts and make fun of me and, all that. It would be just beautiful because it would be good news. But the bad news is there will be no changes, and for me, Mike McDaniel is as useless as it gets. And what he's done to this team this year is just absolutely criminal. So he's just whatever. Stephen Harris just wanted to thank the Miami Dolphins CFUs for ruining my big 40th birthday. Sorry, Stephen. Happy late birthday to you again, sir. And I hope you invested in Bitcoin. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ray Sosa. Another lost season. What else is new? With Mike McDaniel, we won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Jeff in Long Island. I'm watching the post-game show now. I was pissed off to watch it yesterday. I just hit the like button to see you all later. My fins suck. Our fins suck. One-Eyed Jack wants to remind you that the fins suck, but at least we have Bitcoin. Yeah. I'm a Notre Dame fan and was curious how far you think they can go in the CFP. I don't think they'll go very far in the CFP. And by the way, you remind me of something going on too with our town. By the way, take that billboard off, Sean. Take it off. Take it all off. We're at 106, bitch. 106. Remember the people that would chime in at 16K? I laugh at you. I laugh at you. I laugh at you. We're at 106, bitch. 106, bitch. Love it. So the state of our sports, and this is the part that like royally sucks, dude. Okay, and I just kind of touched a little bit on it right now. You look at Inter Miami, they got rich ass ownership. They can't figure it out, even with Lionel Messi, an embarrassing first round exit. And it wasn't like a flukish game. No. They lost 2 of 3. In fact, they had a pathetic record against Atlanta all season and the playoffs combined. Okay? All right? So, I mean, think about that. This is frustrating. We got a billionaire football owner, and unfortunately, the man's trying. That's one thing, I'll never call Stephen Ross a bad person. I'll never say that he doesn't care and he doesn't try. He cares. He tries. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He normally doesn't, but he can't figure it out. And he's got every resource as an owner possible. At least with the Marlins, there's an excuse. You got a poor ass owner that doesn't have the money like Moss does, that he could go out there and field the team and kick ass and then build the fan base and build the trust, because he would commit the money and he would keep the money there, and it wouldn't be a rug pull or anything like that, like a Loria would do. Loria would get a couple players, pay them, and backload the contract so he can unload them. You know what I mean? Moss wouldn't do anything like that. He would literally be committed, right? So there's an excuse why the Marlins are the Marlins. There's no excuse why Stephen Ross constantly fails. There's no excuse why Jorge Mas and company are constant failing. Because this season was an absolute failure. It wasn't for Inter Miami, it wasn't just a failure. It was one of the most embarrassing moments in South Florida history. Right up there with Jimmy Johnson and Vinny Testaverde in the Fiesta Bowl. See, when Marino got to the Super Bowl, we had a come to Jesus. Marino and the Dolphins didn't belong in the Super Bowl next to the Niners. Marino's team was soft. They got punched in the mouth. They were nothing. They were just a pass-happy team, a little finesse team. They got bitch-slapped and sent home by San Francisco. So, like in 82, you got there with Woodstock, and then Washington and Joe Gibbs and the Diesel, bitch-slapped you, and all those moments, Bo Camper getting stripped, you got Woodstock, you overcame the strike and all that kind of stuff, and the coach was masterful to get you through, but you didn't belong anywhere near Washington. You know what I'm saying? That's reality. But Inter Miami was the best team in the league. That's not even up for question. And you failed. That's an embarrassment. That's like the Fiesta Bowl. Jimmy Johnson and Vinny Testaverde they may be the top chokers in the history of South Florida sports. They're challenging Messi. It's right there. When we talk about some of the biggest choke jobs, it's right there with the 2010 Miami Heat. Those are the top three. We can argue around which one is which, you know what I mean? But those are the top three probably of all time. But it shows the state for us here in South Florida sports, our football and football teams, the University of Miami football. The administration finally started spending money. They have given every resource possible to Mario Cristobal. Everything. And Mario Cristobal is a fucking joke on the field. In the biggest moments, oh my God, Mario Cristobal shits his pants. His teams suck. They're undisciplined. They're not smart. They do all kinds of stupid shit, and it doesn't matter what it is. And the guy has every resource possible in a mediocre conference. The guy can't even make it to the ACC championship game. With the resources he has, he should win it already. That's how effed up our college football team is, our pro football team is, and our football team is. Dysfunction with ownership, like the Moss family. Dysfunction with Stephen Ross. And a rudderless ship in Coral Gables. Just kind of shows you the state of where things are with our football and football. I mean, it's bad, dude. It's bad all around and for all kinds of reasons, but it ain't resources. It ain't the problem that the Marlins have. Broke-ass, poor-ass Marlins. Well, we know why they're sorry. They have the excuse built right in. They've got pathetic ownership that does not have enough. They need food stamps and WIC, and sorry, baseball players don't take that. But they'll take Bitcoin, but they can't afford that either. Maybe Bruce Sherman should have listened to me and invested Bitcoin at 16,000. He would have done that. He might be able to afford players now. But anyway, I digress. The state of our football and football teams. It's bad, man. It's like bad. And it's not resources. How screwed up is that? Moss has got plenty of money. Plenty of money. The administration and the NIL initiative is more than enough to win in the crappy ACC. As you all know, you know what I call the ACC. You know what it stands for? Another crappy conference. That's what the ACC stands for. And Mario Cristobal, with every resource possible, a Heisman Trophy candidate, the dude can't even get in the damn game. Do you know how embarrassing that is for Mario Cristobal? That's pathetic. And then in the press conference, he's trying to make a case for his team. That's embarrassing. Jorge Mas and the Mas family. How dysfunctional are you people in the background? I work there, I know. But anybody from the outside can see. How many coaches? How many general managers? What more do you need, bro? Like, you had everything you could possibly need last year. You couldn't get out of the first round? And now we got Stephen Ross, who's got all the money in the world, one of the best football facilities / practice facilities on the damn planet. And the dude can't put together a competent group all the way around to win it. It's tough, man. It's tough being a fan. So All I can tell you is, are we going to get to 107 today? You know, that's all I can say. Are we going to get to 107? Because we're at 106, 310 right now. Maybe we are going to get to 107 in this broadcast. Maybe we'll get to 110 today. That's what makes me feel better right there. Okay. I'll be in a beach somewhere soon enough, chilling out, relaxing, watching the next season. So screwed up, man. What we got going on here. Bradley Mannix is checking in from North Texas. The guys on Get Up just got through mocking our dink and dunk bubble screen offense. Yeah, it's just McD is just he's useless, bro. He's so useless. And I don't know how they're not going to get rid of the guy. That's why I told you that my new trip on now, okay, if you're not going to get rid of people, you're not going to make any changes. Okay, you're not going to get rid of this coach. At least force him to give Frank Smith the offense. And let Frank Smith, I don't know if he can do it or not, but what the hell? Do that at least. That's all I can tell you. That's all I got for you folks. I don't got anything else. Until they make changes, we got nothing else to talk about. A lot of blame to go around for this season's failures and this team's incompetence, uncertain future. What is there to look forward to? Tua's becoming glaringly well, with Tua's situation around him, he will not succeed with the way they are doing things. So it doesn't matter. And by the way, Tua has no future. The way he plays the game, he has no future. Anyways, he already told you that yesterday. With the dive, it's over for him. He is IR waiting to happen. Forget about the fact that fundamentally you need to go get a power running game because that's what you need on this offense. You need a line, a power running game to protect the kid, to get a real offense going. So that way you can actually really build the passing tree. But if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to win the line of scrimmage on defense and on offense, no one's going to win here. That's why I told you Dan Marino didn't belong anywhere near the field to San Francisco. Do you know why Dan Marino did not belong anywhere near the field of San Francisco? Because his offensive line wasn't good enough. His defensive line wasn't good enough. His defense wasn't good enough. His running game wasn't good enough. And his general manager, Don Shula, wasn't good enough. So that's why Dan Marino got his ass handed to him, and he didn't belong anywhere on that field with San Francisco because they were in another class. Just like when the Dolphins got there in 82, they got there with grit, they got there with blue-collar bullshit, they got there with smoke and mirrors, and when they finally got to the pinnacle, they realized, oh shit, we don't belong anywhere near Washington, because the Dolphins have always been frauds for decades. It doesn't matter what it is, how it looks like, or who's quarterbacking. It doesn't matter. You're setting up everybody for failure if you cannot win at the line of scrimmage. So if you cannot win on offense and defense like they used to do in the 70s, so if you're tired of hearing about it, then you're tired of hearing about when they fundamentally knew how to win football games. Win the line of scrimmage on offense, win the line of scrimmage on defense, and please run the hell out of the football. Bob Greasy doesn't come close to Dan Marino as a quarterback, but Bob Greasy's team is way better than anything Dan Marino ever had. Way better than anything Tua ever had. So it's simple, dude. It's not really rocket science. One year, Mahomes got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl because he had no offensive line. Andy Reid and company went back and fixed it. That same offseason, they have the center that leads their offensive line to this day from that draft. They fixed the offensive line. They kept Mahomes upright and they won. Last year and this year, they're being carried by their defense, not their offense. Mahomes does enough and they do enough and they find ways to win. But the defense and that young secondary that they drafted is what's winning. But again, the simpleton thinks it's just a quarterback. But, you got to learn the game. And so, unfortunately, here in Miami, we haven't learned the game that you must dominate on the lines of scrimmage. And since the Dolphins don't dominate on the lines of scrimmage and they cannot run the ball, it does not matter who it is. You'll have MVP-like seasons from Tua or Marino, and they'll end the same way, one way or another. If you happen to make any run or win a couple of games, you're going to get your ass kicked once you face a team that can kick ass. Because that's why Marino always lost. Because the teams that could kick ass kicked his ass. It's not him, but it's just the way it went. He had a soft-ass team all the time. That's it. Wanstead's teams, soft. They couldn't win the line of scrimmage on offense. Defense, they would win the line of scrimmage a lot of times, but they lost it on offense every single time. What ends up happening? Lesser quarterbacks than Tua have won Super Bowls. It's not the quarterback the problem. It's the construction of the team is the problem. And so if you're going to put the weight of the world on this quarterback, that's not who he is. So he can't do that where he's going to run around and all that kind of stuff. Football hasn't changed that much, man. Go look at the best teams. They win at the line of scrimmage. Miami can't win at the line of scrimmage. And if you can't win at the line of scrimmage, it's pretty simple. It just kind of ends up working out that way. And it's been like that for 40 years. Soft-ass team. So until they stop being a soft-ass team under Shula, under Jimmy, under Wanstead, under Saban, under Greer and this guy, under Flo. People talk shit about Flo. The year he got fired, he lost all the tough games the first half of the season because his teams got pushed around. And in the second half of the season, he made a run on all the shitty teams. Nothing's changed. It's all the same, dude. Whatever, man. It is what it is. All right. True FinFan says, I look forward to the show. I'd rather watch this every day of the week than another Dolphins game. I've never been so disgusted. Same old Dolphins. It sucks. Gus, thank you, sir. Robert T. Corso Traven. Ronnie N. Let's see. Kino. Alexis Palenzuela. Donald McDonald. Frankie Fresco, Bradley Maddox, Michael Johnson. I mean, Dolphins don't deserve Tua. Lance McDonald, Tua does what Tua does, choke in big games. Kyle Cockrell is in the house. Father Sarducci, Greer's got to go. Lisa Rose, if not for Bitcoin, my Dolphin depression would be overwhelming. Yep. I'm with you. Bitcoin makes me happy. If Bam is a super role player, what is Tua? Quarterback. Stephen Baker will be satisfied when the Dolphins find a way to consistently dictate the game to the competition. Yeah, Stephen, we've been saying that for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. Same results, different faces, all that shit. Whatever. Lisa says McDaniel and Greer got to go. If both can't go, at least axe Greer. Jonathan, I still believe in Tua. Maybe I'm crazy, but this coach needs to be gone. Same plays over and over again. If QB is having a bad day, it happens. No plays to help out. That effing O-line is terrible. Well, I mean, yesterday, you're on your rookie tackle and your third right tackle, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Let's see. B. McD. Lewis Com. What else? Horn Dog. Can we now start talking NFL draft? No, not really. I don't know what they're picking. I don't know who's coming out, who's declared, who's not, who's injured, who's not. Don't even know any of that either. I don't get in it. I personally, bro, there's plenty of sites that are just Dolphin sites or writers that just write Dolphins. So they're extremely limited. So they have to reach for all that shit. The good thing for me is I'll talk basketball, like we'll talk later with Ira. I'll talk hockey. I'll talk whatever. You know what I mean? Life, Bitcoin, music. I don't give a shit. I'll talk, but I definitely I don't waste my time with hypotheticals and all that stuff until there's actual substance behind it. You know, I've done way too much of that in the past, and I've learned my lesson to not waste my time. But there's plenty of people that will be talking that were probably already talking draft in the last month. You know what I'm saying? So I am not even bothering to do that. Ocala Joe, can you imagine how more shitty we would feel if we didn't have Bitcoin blowing up like this? Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. Dolphin says Hill, Waddle, Tua, and McD all stopped performing once they got the bag. Ashley Williams, morning, Big O. This is what pisses me off about the Finns was number 1 in points and yards and number 2 in rushing last year, with the exception of Jonnu. It's basically the same team, and they're struggling to do anything. That's your coach. He's just a bad coach. He doesn't really have the set of tools in his mind that we all thought he did, right? He has some great ideas, but he is a terrible cook. He just does not know how to put it all together. Skylar Tipton says, it's times like this, I'm very grateful for this show. It's therapy for us Finns fans. Thank you, Skylar. I appreciate it, even though, man, I don't know how much therapy I'm going to be because I'm hurting as much as you guys are. But it's just I'm the only thing is that I'm past it than most of you because I gave up after Indy. Told you I stopped following stuff. I stopped, all that. Stopped. Don't bother anymore. Don't bother reading much, any of the writers anymore. None of that stuff. Forget it. So, yeah, it's just one of those things because it's just useless to me. All the Dolphin talk, all the playoff talk to me was silly. And I was proven right. Season was over. Captain Saki, 4 turnovers and still 1-score game. Shaking my head. I know, right? Yeah. Tyreek had knee surgery this offseason and lost a step. Brother, it's not about that. It's that you guaranteed him money. And you should have not done that. And, our teams, whether it's the Dolphins or the Heat, they don't know how to get off the gravy train. They're not very good at that, unfortunately. Riley struggles with that, and the Dolphins struggle with that. It's just one of those things. They don't understand, and most of you don't either, by the way. Most of you are like Riley, and most of you are like the Dolphins. I want you to know that. I put most of you in there, okay? Most of you. I don't even like hearing people tell me, "Oh no, I agreed with you on X," or "I agreed with you," because it's bullshit. It's just complete crap. The Tyreek thing, complete crap, dude. I got killed in the offseason when I kept saying, "Don't guarantee him, don't guarantee him, don't guarantee him, don't guarantee him," and they did it. Okay. Oh, 1,700 back to back. Come on, he's the best. Yeah, he's not going to fall off. Okay. So, that's the problem with that. So the Tyreek stuff, Tyreek had surgery, B. McD, bro, none of that stuff flies with me with none of you guys. None of that flies with me. Because I need to see it before the fact that you had to tell me, like I'm on record saying, don't bring this guy back. Let him go after this season. Let the contract expire. Get the hell out of this deal. This guy's a mess off the field, and he brings it on the field, and he runs the wrong routes all the time. That what he did yesterday to cause that first interception, he's done many times over here. He has mental lapses because he is irresponsible. He is not a real professional. Super gifted, super talented, but not a professional. So that's where B. McD, the whole Tyreek and all that, bro, I don't want to hear any complaints about Tyreek because you all wanted him back. So that stuff just does not fly on this show. I took immense amount of heat for the Tyreek stuff. And all I was 100% correct on Tyreek on everything. And you don't know it all. Let's just get that shit straight. You don't know it all. You don't know what I know. Anyway, fins up 126. Thank you, sir. We had Devontae Parker, yet we let him go. We could have had Waddle, Parker, Hill, and after what would Devontae Parker is a sack of injuries. Who wants to have him anyways? And by the way, he only does one thing that our coach doesn't like to run with tall receivers. He likes to run fade patterns with midgets. Parker was a Pringle, always hurt. Nice one, Corso. Love that line. Parker was a Pringle. It's a good line. Let's see. Papa is in. My thoughts on the Heisman winner. The guy got what he deserved. Travis Hunter is one of the greatest players I have ever seen in my entire life in football. Like a freak of all freaks, dude. This is Ohtani. This is Lawrence Taylor. This is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is freak. This is Derrick Henry. This is Jim Brown. That's what this is. This is what Travis Hunter is, dude. We have never seen this. We got to stop taking this for granted. This young man did not just play both sides of the field. He excelled at both sides of the field. Ohtani does not just play on both sides of the plate. He excels at both sides of the plate. Jim Brown wasn't just great in one sport. He was great in a shit ton of sports. Travis Hunter is, my God, you're talking an all-timer, bro. All-timer. How does that kid survive even health-wise? How do you play the game of football on just one side of the field your entire career pretty much healthy? This guy played on both sides of the field and doesn't miss much. Yeah. Give him 2 Heismans. That's what I say with Travis Hunter. Give him 2 Heismans. Appreciate the shit out of Travis Hunter, dude. Like, appreciate it. Like, wow. Like, yo, dude, You are above badass. And his quarterback's a badass. But, wow, Travis Hunter, dude. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Stephen Baker, I live in Nashville area and lived the Mike Vrabel area up here. What makes you think he will be any different than he was in Tennessee or Houston? Dude, he had no quarterback there in Tennessee. He had pretty good success with no quarterback. I think if he provides a offensive line and running game, Tua will be magnificent. It's not what he has here now. So you got to, these kind of quarterbacks, if you're going to make Drew Brees have to run around and try to have to go break tackles and go out, you're dead in the water. You got to have a line. You got to build a run. That's kind of the way you do with these kind of quarterbacks. That's what you did with Greasy here in Miami. They're not out there they're not playing Josh Allen because they can't. It's not their game. They can't do the Cam stuff. They can't do the Lamar stuff. They're not athletes. Those guys have to be like that in order to be good quarterbacks because they can't live in the pocket. But the guys that have to live in the pocket, the Bradys or Tua or Chad Pennington or Bob Greasy or Joe Montana, or all those guys that, you'll get them to roll out a little bit and that kind of stuff, but they're not athletically going to carry you anywhere. Okay, so those kind of guys, you got to give them a line. Yep. Troy Aikman wasn't running around for anybody. He was going to stay back there, look pretty, and make a shitload of accurate passes. But he had a mammoth line in front of him, right? No. See, the funny part is what Greasy had, Tua's never had, but you idiots out there make it sound like, well, Tua needs everything. Well, no, dude, that's how you win. That's why Marino lost. Because the quarterback that he was facing had a mammoth line, something he didn't. He had two guys, not five. Two. Not three, not four, not five, two. On the left side. They all need it. So if you want to have your fake little runs every once in a blue moon, every team has that, and you get there flukishly, and then they slap you down, go ahead, bro. Be the Miami Heat. Let's flukishly get to the finals, and then here's Denver to just, bro, you don't belong here. Get the hell out of here. Marino, you don't belong. Get the hell out of here. Woodstock, you don't belong here. Get the hell out of here. Because you don't win the fight. If you can't win the fight in the front, you're not going to win. So, it's funny how you guys, Tua needs it. No, every quarterback needs it. That's how you win. Anyway, so Vrabel will bring toughness, and Vrabel will want to run. Vrabel will have the kind of line that Tua needs, the kind of running game that Tua needs, the one that Marino needed. And he would have won a title or two. The one Greasy had. Somehow or another, Kansas City can always run the ball. And they run hard and tough with Pacheco. I wonder why. It helps, man. It helps. Willie, you are correct. In Colombia, my man. Thank you for tuning in. As always. The Canes have never won the ACC. You are correct, Dolphin. But the worst part is Mario has all the resources no coach has ever had. The dude can't even get to the game. And by the way, with the resources that Mario has in this crappy conference, it's embarrassing that he can't even get to the ACC championship game. And let me tell you something. Getting to the ACC championship game is not even enough. Mario can't even get to the stage. That's not even enough. It's not even enough. You need to win this thing. Getting there doesn't mean shit. And the guy can't even get there. And getting there is not that impressive. And he can't even get there. That's how pathetic that is. All right. Tua sucks against winning teams. Yeah, no, the Miami Dolphins have sucked against winning teams for 40 years, my brother. That's a Dolphins thing. Dolphins usually lose to good teams. Marino, Fiedler, doesn't matter who it is, dude. Tua, let me get into Dolphins feelings now. Just like Buffalo dominates them, Buffalo dominated them in the early 90s too, dude. So I'm not sure what Dolphins you were watching, but the Dolphins I've watched have choked in every big moment, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, doesn't matter who the coach is, doesn't matter who the front office is, doesn't matter who the owner is. Not sure what you've been watching, but I know what I've been watching for 40 years. I've been watching a team that every time they come up to somebody tough in whatever era, from Marino till now, when they run into somebody tough, they get bitch slapped down. Every single time. Not sure what you're watching, Thomas, but if you want to make it sound like this just happened now, it's been happening for 4 decades, baby. 4 decades of softness. 4 decades of folding in every big moment. Thomas, right? What happened in San Francisco with Marino? What happened with Marino against the Bills? What happened with Marino when you had a chance to go back to the Super Bowl to face Chicago and you faced New England? What happened? 4 fumbles that day. I'm not saying it's Marino's fault at all. I'm just saying soft-ass team. What happened with Jimmy and the Jags? Again, not Marino's fault, but soft-ass team. You want to go look at some of those other playoff scores with Jimmy? Soft-ass team. I'm not sure, Thomas, what you've been watching. Sperano, rest in peace. You figure out the Wildcat to, do something, change it up in the season. You end up with 11 wins. You win the division. You get to the playoffs. What happened, Thomas? A 20-3 shellacking at the hands of who? The Ravens. Why? Because you're a soft-ass team. Thomas, I've lived it all, dude. I've been at most of those games live. I've been in the locker rooms after a lot of those games live. So I'm not sure what you're watching, my brother, but I've been watching a soft-ass team for 40 years that gets bitch slapped in every big moment they ever have been. Think about Marino's biggest moments. They're all failures. Soft-ass team. Not sure what you're watching, Thomas, but let me get in your feelings. Soft-ass team, dude. So just in case, even when you had the best passer, soft-ass team. So now that you don't have the best passer, you expect to win with a soft-ass team? I didn't know that the requirements change. But hey, listen, Thomas, you know what? It'll make you feel better to think that this only happens now. This has only been going on the last couple of years. This never happened with Marino. This never happened with Jimmy. This never happened with Wani. No, come on. No, they never choked in big moments. They never got bitch slapped every time they faced a tough team. No, never. Of course not. My memories always are Dolphin teams under Marino. They were so tough. They were always really tough. Yeah, they were Ted Washington tough. Some Dolphins are like, oh my God, he fucking hit me with Ted Washington tough. Anyway, Jonathan Jensen, shouldn't Frank Smith take over now? Well, they'll wait till the end of the season. And then after much thought, I've got to focus more on the team. And, you know, it's a lot of responsibility. Frank has earned this and this and that and all that. And, you know. Whatever, dude. Anyway, what else do we have? Joseph, McDaniel, and Greer package deal. Greer gave him the extension this offseason, so he's on the hook for McD and Flores before him. Yeah, you're right. You're right. As much as I like the guys in the front office, look, man, what's gone on is a lot of decisions that have involved too many changes with coaches. Now, you had to make the changes, but the sad part is you've had so many defensive coordinators that from year to year, different talents don't fit different schemes. And then that sets you back, and then you're back to the drawing board again in the draft room, and it just doesn't give you any continuity. You know, the Steelers have been they have an attitude, and then the next coach that they hire doesn't necessarily change everything. It's like, okay, this is who we are. You understand that, right? This is how we play. Okay, you understand that? Okay, this is how we're going to play in this division. And then they don't have that here in Miami. There's no continuity on a way to play. And so now you keep changing coaches, you keep changing assistant coaches, and then, no, this guy doesn't fit in that guy. And like the AVG one, see, there's some of the drama is just drama bullshit that the Miami Dolphin fans and writers make up. Like, really? Okay, were you really going to pay Rob Hunt that much money? No. What you had to do is go draft another guy and find him. Did you do it? No. Okay, that's on them. That's fine. That's fair. But the whole Rob Hunt thing, no, dude. It was a terrific pick. Go get the compensatory pick. Go replace him. You can't pay him that kind of money. Then you lose the tackle to the Raiders. Wilkins is not worth anything that. So I get the problems on defense. I'm still not paying Wilkins. So complaining about that is a load of bullshit because he's not a pass rusher. And then he ends up injured. So we got fake Dolphin fans complaining about Wilkins, fake Dolphin fans complaining about Connor Williams, fake Dolphin fans complaining about Rob Hunt. These are changes that had to be made. The AVG one is the only legit one because it wasn't really a bank breaker. It's one that you could have accommodated. But again, this had to have been Weaver's call. Oh, no, I could get by without him, this, that, or whatever. And if you're the general manager, it's bad on you because you have to say, this guy's not costing, even the new contract that he wants is not really a bad contract. And he's been phenomenal. He's been a steal since we drafted him. He's got a knack for the football, something you can't teach. That was a catastrophically terrible move on a year where you needed pass rushers because your two guys are injured. Bad move. But, you know, we create drama out of all of it when all of it is not legit. Like yesterday, one of our guys mentioned, well, the Shaq Barrett. No, the Shaq Barrett move ended up becoming a blessing because he retires and you end up getting Ogba in his place, who's better than him, and you paid less money. So again, There's no reason to complain about Shaq Barrett because that ended up becoming a blessing in disguise because you got Agba. There's no reason to complain about Hunt. There's no reason to complain about Wilkins. There's no reason to complain about Connor Williams because, and I get, up until a couple of weeks ago, people were still complaining about the center because they weren't watching because nobody watches center play. And the guy was good. Did a terrific job, and they got him cheap for $7 million a year. Now he looks like a super bargain if you look at the way he plays. Super athletic and get to the next level so easy. He's not a problem. But again, it's just you can't keep changing. And then that's been a problem for the front office. And then they've created their own monster because they have hired the wrong coaches. They hired the wrong coach in Flo, and they hired the wrong coach in Mike McDaniel. And that has set them back. And as I've said, as much as I like them personnel-wise, they have done things that have burned themselves in the process. Okay, and I've pointed it out. Did I agree with X? No. Did I agree with Tyreek? No. Did I agree with Matt Collins leaving? No. Did I agree with AVG? No. So I tell you things that I disagree that they do. But the problem is the coaching hires have ultimately been the thing that has broken their backs. So I, as much as I like those guys, and I like Allen, McKenzie, and Greer, okay, I cannot defend them there, as I've said many times over. I cannot defend the X deal. I cannot defend the Tyreek deal. I think I've been very open about that. But now all the changes that you've made with your coaches, and in turn, you've made changes with players, that has screwed up your situation. So I don't tell you about Greer, McKenzie, or Allen. If you guys want them gone, I don't argue with you guys about this. I'll argue with you about Tua because I don't think Tua is a problem at all. I think you can more than win multiple titles with Tua, but you've got to construct the team the right way. If you construct it in a way where you're going to make him your savior on every play, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. It's not who he is. But again, this is part of being a good organization. Know what you have, define it. Matt Collins, why would you let him go? The most perfect number 3 wide receiver I've ever seen in my life. A captain, a leader, a monster in special teams, and more than happy to be the number 3. No ego to be number 2 or 1. And clutch and tough and big hands, and that play that you did with the midget down the sidelines, that's the play you do with Matt Collins, not with a midget. So, what can I tell you? It is what it is. I didn't say Tua isn't the answer at all, Dolphin. I'm not sure if you're listening. I never said Tua wasn't the answer. Tua is more than fine. There's nothing wrong with Tua. But if you're going to put him in this kind of position, you're screwed. So it's just poor construction is what's going on. And that's been the demise of the Dolphins for many, many years. All the way back to Dan Marino. The demise of the Dolphins is poor construction all around. Always has been. But at no point have I given up on Tua at all. Big O at this team's Big O's flow at this team discipline. That's how they've turned it around. It didn't matter who we played, what was going to be. Well, flow at this team's discipline. That's how they turned it around. It didn't matter who we played was going to play better than how the Dolphins are playing now. Clyde, that's all. You're full of shit, dude. You're full of shit. Flo didn't even know offense. He couldn't even pick a quarterback, dude. The best quarterback on his team was Tua, and he kept playing Jabroni Brissett. All right, what, are you kidding me, dude? He couldn't find an offensive coordinator if his life depended on it. And in his final year, he lost all the tough games at the beginning of the year. He beefed up his win schedule with all the shit teams. like all the other coaches have done in the past and in the present. So, whatever. Another disappointing season. Fire Greer, go draft, yada, yada, yada. All that. Okay. What else? It's amazing what a good coach can do for a team. Chargers look very similar to what the Dolphins look like this year. They look like a totally different team, solid with extremely limited offense. I don't know. We'll see about the Chargers down the line, my brother. You don't really get to cheat and have first-round picks every year there, and he doesn't have a great ownership and all that. We'll see, bro. We'll see. Matt Collins has 5 TDs. Matt Collins is perfect, bro. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's all I know about Matt Collins. He is absolutely perfect. Like Welton Rayom, they are perfect. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call my guys, Jeff Welt or Daniel Rayom. They know how to get it done, folks. They've been at this for a long, long time. And best part is I've had so many of our listeners, deal with them the last couple of years, and they're happy. Listeners in South Florida, listeners on the West Coast. We have a new listener up closer to the Ocala area that called Welton Rayom. So thank you all out there, different listeners calling. And sadly, because of the damn storms we had on the West Coast, a bunch of our listeners got affected, and they called Welton Rayom. They sent their adjusters, and they are crushing those insurance companies for them as we speak. You can do it too. Call them 954-966-4646. All right, let's get into our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the great Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. If your company needs custom printing and embroidery, only one place to call. It's Alan Blanco and 3A Graphics. Give him a ring. You can do all of that stuff by Zoom or whatever, or you can go visit him if you want, but give Alan a call. They can take care of your business, your company, your corporation, your school, whatever entity it is that needs custom printing and embroidery. Heat tonight, 7 o'clock. They're taking on the Pistons on the road, favored by 4.5. The over and under is 219. The Heat, by the way, have won 4 in a row, 6 of 8 and 8 of 11. Tonight, 8:30 on the ice, Panthers visiting the Edmonton Oilers. And over and under is 6. Panthers plus 114 on the money line. The Oilers are minus 135. Dolphins yesterday, they lose to the Texans 20-12. They will take on the 49ers next week. Yay for us, Sean, a 4:25 start. Anyway, Dolphins are favored by 2.5. The over and under is 46.5. Tonight we got 2 games. Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock, Bears at Vikings. Vikings favored by 7. Over and under is 44. 8:30, ESPN. Falcons at the Raiders. Falcons favored by 6. Over and under is 44.5. And San Francisco is planning to suspend Devondre Campbell for 3 games. The linebacker, as you all know, left the team live on the field in the middle of a game. So now they're going to suspend him for the next 3 games. So he won't face the Dolphins. And in high school football, let's give it to 1A Chaminade, 42-7 over Clearwater. Give it to 3A Northwestern over Jacksonville Reigns, 41-3. We give it to 4A American Heritage over Orlando Jones, 40-31. We give it to 5A St. Thomas over Lakeland, 34-0. And we give it to 6A West Boca over Osceola, 26-7. All right. Congratulations to all. And by the way, Saturday, December 28th in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Camping World Stadium. It's hard to keep a straight face. Mario Cristobal and his staff and they're favored by 3.5 over Iowa State and Keith Sims. The over and under is 55.5. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. You spend all that money, all that recruiting, all that work. You got a Heisman Trophy candidate, and you end up in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Holy shit. Wow. Okay.
Did you see the trophy?
I'm sorry, Sean. What were you going to say?
Did you see the trophy?
The what?
The trophy for the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Oh, God, tell me. Do you have a picture of it?
No, but it has a built-in toaster, so you can actually pop your Pop-Tarts in, and they can cook for you. It has a toaster on the top of
a working toaster.
A working toaster, yes. They added it just for this year for the Iowa State game.
They should hand that to every season ticket holder for the Miami Dolphins. Once you pay for your season tickets, here's your toaster, because that's what your season is. Toast.
It's like the little Stanley Cup thing, but this will be the Pop-Tart Bowl trophy.
Exactly. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Stephen Baker, thank you, sir. Says, great show. Thanks for what you do. That is very kind of you, my man. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you, my man. We try, my brother. It's just it's rough sledding, man. Rough sledding right now. It's not easy to be a Miami Dolphins fan. It just isn't. You know? It just is not. It's not good to be, it's not easy to be a Canes fan. It's not easy to be an Inter Miami fan. The Inter Miami one really hurts. Because like the Canes and the Dolphins, you weren't really that good. Well, the Canes, you were better than that. Your Dolphins, you were better than what you are right now, but you're not championship. The Inter Miami was championship. And those fools couldn't even get out of the first round. So that one kind of like, whew, that's monster underachieving. Badger, Greer promised us a strong O-line. Shouldn't he be fired? Mike needs an offensive coordinator to call out plays. All right, Badger. And I get it. None of it's going to happen. Let's see. I don't like Allen, but that man is the best QB in the league, says Travel Adventures with Eric B. Where's Raheem? Justice Maldonado. This team has so many holes. They need to fill it. I don't see them filling them in one offseason. O-line, another corner, a big body receiver, backup QB, and now you have to replace both safeties. Tragic. Telling you. Is it like Tragic Kingdom from No Doubt? Because that's a pretty good album. This is not a knock against Hill. Just a serious question, John Z wants to know. Is it McDaniel who can't scheme him open, or has he lost a step and can't beat two double teams as often? From the TV, it's hard to tell. It's both. He's lost a step. He's not the same player because he's getting older, and he's had a lot of wear and tear. And two, McDaniel sucks as a coach. Pretty simple. When you continue to throw fade patterns to Oompa Loompas and you don't learn, that's ignorance. When you're a quarterback, okay, and you continue to put your body at risk, that's it. While I don't mind Tua the player, you could easily win with Tua the player. You can win a championship with Tua the player if you build it around. Tua, the crazy athlete, oh, that guy's going to kill himself. He's It's only a matter of time before he puts himself out. At least after the interception, he stopped chasing the guy. I was like, what are you doing, bro? You're going to go tackle the guy too? Like, there's some Tua does some stupid shit, dude, that just drives me crazy. Let's see. I had such high hopes for this year, says One-Eyed Jack. The egg is on my face with no changes going to happen. I'm sure they will repeat next year. Yep. Free Pop-Tarts, best they can do. Well, if it's apple, me an apple Pop-Tart. Again, strudel over Pop-Tarts every day of the week and twice on Sundays. The toaster is perfect because we know the Mario era has been toast so far. It has. Let's see. Patrick Vecchio. Every time you chime in with Patrick Vecchio, all I think of is passenger 57, right? And at the end, Snipes takes off with the babe, right? And leaves, his boss in the lurch to meet the media. And if I remember correctly, they ask him his name. He says Sal Del Vecchio. I think it's like some very Italian name. So every time you chime in, I remember passenger 57. And I believe, can you look up passenger 57 and the boss's name? I want to say it was Sal Del Vecchio. So the Vecchio guy here, Patrick, that's what it reminds me of. Every time you've chimed in, I just think of passenger 57. And I forget the name of that actor who's had a lot of like substance issues and stuff like that. And he's a good actor, by the way. Good actor. It's just he's had a lot of personal demons. Forgot his name now. Anyway, 52 years of watching this team. Now we have a kid coaching the team who runs a country club instead of a football. Instead of a football, 9 plays for negative yards. Something needs to change. Yeah.
It's Tom Sizemore. Some got
Tom
it in
Sizemore. That's it. That's him. And what's his name?
Sly Del Vecchio.
Sly Del Vecchio. Even better than Sal. Sly Del Vecchio. Sly. And he has like he puts on a face when he says Sly Del Vecchio. Yeah. I remember that. I always remember that. So every time Vecchio chimes in, I always think of Sly Del Vecchio. There, I was corrected on that. J-Town. Oh, any plans this week with a Crypto Bro show? Yeah, I'll do one later on today, bro. Of course. Definitely. All of our teams suck except the Panthers. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. What else? Slick videos. Why is McDaniel scheming screens? Maybe it's because of the QB. No. Has nothing to do with the QB. The QB can throw deep. It has nothing to do with that. When you're playing the cover 2, you just got, if you don't run, okay, let me teach football to some of you out there like this guy here that doesn't understand football. If you cannot run, which you're running at 2.5 yards a carry for 6 weeks now, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever the hell it's been, okay? If you have no threat of the run, then safety is going to stay deep. They're going to keep everything in front, and it makes it impossible for you to loosen up that defense. So you've got to play the short game and got to play a lot of the crossing routes and all that kind of stuff, because if you go deep, you're going to be throwing into double teams. And since we have a head coach that doesn't like big receivers, guess who you throw into double teams downfield? Oronde Gadsden, Mac Hollins. That's what you do. You know, when you got big targets, you can throw them downfield. And if Randy McMichael's covered with 2 people, you got a shot, because Randy McMichael's going to jump up in the air and he's going to have a shot at that football for you. But we have a stupid coach that doesn't get it, and he hurts his quarterback and he hurts his football team because he's inflexible. Dude, Tua threw a beautiful pass to Jonnu in the corner of the end zone, in the back of the end zone, high up, because that's where he was, away from the DB. But why didn't you use Jonnu Smith for that play down the sideline? Why are you using a midget? You're setting everybody else up for failure. So if you can't run, you can't loosen up the defense. You set yourself up for failure. If you can't scheme people open, and then you also don't add a bigger element to your offense because you refuse to do it year in and year out, just like he refused to use Mike Gesicki, just like he refused to use Jonnu Smith the first month of the season. Right? I mean, let me go to the Jonnu Smith. Have we even done that? Go to the game logs of Jonnu Smith. And in those game logs, let me just see, just out of curiosity, just show you like how a coach literally hurts his football team week in and week out with all kinds of stupid things, getting your plays in late, all kinds of stuff like that hurts everybody, overall. Okay, where's Jonnu Smith here? Here's Jonnu Smith. Now let's get to the game logs for Jonnu Smith. Let's see, where is it? 1 reception, 2 targets, 7 yards. 6 receptions, 53. 2 for 18. 0 for 0. That was his first month. Jonnu Smith didn't score his first touchdown till week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It took him 6 weeks to get into the end zone. It took him 4 more weeks after that to score 2 more touchdowns. And he has 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks. Deceiving. Okay? But in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he has 1 touchdown. And I just read to you the first month. 7, 53, 18, and 0. That's your coach. Does that help the quarterback? No. Does that help your team? No. Does that make Jonnu Smith look good or the GM that signed him? No. Whatever, man. There's too many of you actually don't even understand the game. So you don't understand what's happening in front of you. And if you don't win the line of scrimmage, you're done. You're cooked. It's history. Doesn't matter who. You're setting everybody up for failure. If you can't get the play in on time, you're setting everybody up for failure. If you keep putting Julian Hill out there to make mistakes, you're setting everybody up for failure. If your number 1 wide receiver is running the wrong routes and causing turnovers, and by the way, nobody pays the price. You can screw up all you want on this team and nobody pays the price. Does that help your team? No. But that's all right, bro. Just make it so simplistic. And no, it's just one person's fault. That's all. So, anyway. Let's see. Fire Greer, who keeps hiring 0 experienced coach. Remy, do you want to hire Saban? Do you want to hire Parcells? Do you want to hire, I don't know, Jimmy Johnson? So do you want to hire the hot offensive coordinator, the hot defensive coordinator, the former Hall of Fame coach, the hottest college coach? Which one? They've done it all, dude. So is that the next thing? They've hired the inexperienced up-and-coming assistants. They've hired the experienced winners, the Hall of Famers. They have failed in every way possible, dude. So I'm not sure, Remy, what's the next thing? What are you suggesting? That they hire an experienced coach? Well, they've done that. The Dolphins have failed in every way possible. You guys know that, right? Have you figured that out yet? No, apparently not. Because you think what happened now has just been happening recently. So, and here's the best one. Ross can no longer be the majority owner of the well, guess what, bro? He's the owner. So, too bad. You know what, Dolphin? Don't root for the team anymore, bro. Because Ross is going to be the owner. Until the guy dies, he will own the team. Just so you'll know, they're not selling it. They're keeping it within the family. So, prepárate. Outside of a few players, this team is soft. Brother, it's not the players. It's the organization has been soft for 40 years. Players aren't soft. Okay? It's just whoever plays here ends up being part of a soft organization. They all leave and go other places, and they do just fine. And then is Jalen Ramsey soft? No. Not at all. Or Calais Campbell or Zach Sealer or whatever. It's just you end up being soft because the organization is soft. That's why they fold like they did yesterday. It's the whole organization. I'm so glad you mentioned Tyreek running wrong routes. I've been saying this to people around me, and they think I'm just talking crazy. He does it all the time, dude. He's irresponsible as hell on and off the field. So, the Dolphins simply cannot beat a good team or win in cold weather. They are soft with a subpar head coach and were built incorrectly from the start. Offensive and defensive lines win championships. Boom. I don't know. That thing got erased. I don't know if that person erased it or something, but I read it right before it finished being erased. Clean house. Hit the reset button. Not going to happen. Let's see. Even if you think Greer is the greatest talent evaluator, isn't there just a case for firing him? Bro, there's a case for everybody getting fired, Leon. All I'm telling you is they're not making any changes. That's it. So if they're not going to make any changes, and for me at least, I would want the head coach gone. I wanted him fired after the Colts. You're not going to do that. Then at least make Frank Smith the offensive coordinator. That's the only thing I can ask for. Since you're not going to make any changes, then at least please make Frank Smith the offensive coordinator. That's all I can ask for. Outside of that, really, I don't really have much hope for next season, to be quite honest. I've pretty much given up on next season. If you're coming back with this same coach, I've pretty much given up on next season. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can say, man. If they're not making any changes after 50-something years, I'm gonna make a change, Big O. Go ahead, Michael Jackson. Make that change. Make that change. Okay? Go ahead, David Bowie. Changes. Turn and face. Come on, baby. Let's go. All I can tell you is Bitcoin is holding strong at 106,700. We're knocking on 107, bitch. Love it. I don't know. Do I have time? Yeah, I think I have some time. Let's get into a little music here. before Ira Winderman joins us. Let's do that, Sean Stanley. And let's start off with birthdays here. All right, let's start off with musicians born on this date, December 16th. Michael McCary from Boys to Men. Dolphin fans, end of the road. Born on this date in 1972. Let's see. Billy Gibbons, singer, songwriter, producer, actor, with, of course, ZZ Top, born on this date in 1949. Benny Andersson, Swedish music composer, singer, with ABBA, born on this date in 1946. Tony Hicks, guitarist with the Hollies, born on this date in 1945. Those are musicians celebrating birthdays today. Let's start off with famous people celebrating birthdays today. Let's go with Zara Larsson, pop singers, 27, was not there on musicians. Who else? Ludwig van Beethoven, born in 1770. We just lost him in 1827, just recently. Ludwig, rest in peace, buddy. We miss you, bro. I was just at your concert just recently. Benjamin Bratt is 61 years old. Damn, I'm old. Benjamin Bratt is 61 already. That's just wrong on every level. I want you all to know that, okay? Who else is celebrating birthdays today? Oh, man. Rich Paul, LeBron's boy, business executive, agent, 43 years old today. And he's got the world by the balls. Christian Ritter, TV actress. She is 43. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have any wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir. We do. Terry Boy turns 58. WWE Hall of Famer William the Refrigerator Perry turned 62. Psycho Sid Vicious was born on this date in 1960. We lost him in August of this year. Dr. Jerry Graham, born in 1921. We lost him in 1997. And the greatest AEW TNT champion, the Exalted One, the man we lost way too early, John Huber, Brody Lee. He was born on this date in 1979. Sadly, we lost him the day after Christmas in 2020. Those are your birthdays for December 16th, 2024.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. I hear the pop. Let's do that. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball with Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Right. You make Nick going to hit $107,000.
Having a little trouble hearing you, Big O.
You can't hear me at all?
No, you're kind of faint there. All right.
What's that noise in the background? What's going on there, Sean?
I have a buzzing now. I don't know who that is.
Buzz?
It's Ira.
It's Ira. Yeah, there's some buzz going on there, bro. It's like some annoying shit.
Wow. I don't know. It's the same microphone I always use. You know what, guys? I will try to buzz back in. We'll see if that works, okay?
Yeah, it must be the hotel room.
No, you're good now. Well, okay. Well, all right.
Oh, you hear me fine?
I hear you fine. You want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it, because I don't even know if the buzz is going to go away. Go ahead. Sean, why don't we disconnect and connect one more time just to see what happens? See if the buzz goes away.
All right. I will check back in momentarily, fellas.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if that happens, because that is kind of an annoying. You know what? He brought the buzz from the from the Kaseya Center interview room with him. Only anybody that's media will pick up on that one.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you're back. You know what you did?
What did I do?
You brought the goddamn buzz from the Kaseya Center interview room to this interview. What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know. It's the same hotel I was at last time I talked to you from Detroit. Maybe it's just because it's Detroit, and maybe everyone's here trying to get over what happened against the Bills yesterday. So there is not an otherwise a good buzz in the rest of this town.
That was a good one, except for onside kick with 12 minutes. Whatever. I mean, that's a whole other.
You know what? If you want to have caveman Dan Campbell as your coach, you put up with the entire package. And let me ask you right now, Orlando Elzagari, caveman Dan Campbell stays with the Dolphins or moves on to Mike McDaniel. You're talking about two different divergent approaches. Which would you prefer right now?
Well, right now you have to take the caveman, because at least you're winning some games, and you're winning against good teams, and you're winning in big moments, and you're winning playoff games. So, yeah, Man Campbell is doing better. Not the Man Campbell we had wasn't ready yet, but after
okay. Question number 2 from Big O then on our almost heap report here for the Acura Pepper Pines report. Is Mike McDaniel ready yet?
No, not even close. No, he's not even an offensive coordinator. He doesn't even, see, the beauty of Spo is you give him any groceries, and he will come up with a beautiful meal for you. It doesn't matter. He's so Shula. He really is Shula in basketball. Okay? The closest thing I've ever seen to Shula is Eric Spoelstra. Okay? And so that's the difference between where Mike McDaniel, you give him the ingredients, he doesn't know what to do with them whatsoever. And that's the problem.
Yeah, and again, the Heat pushed through Eric's tough years, 2009, waiting 2010 to get the big 3. So it does take some time also. But, yeah, they're in good hands. And even this season, I mean, even someone to step forward and saying, you know what, I like Jovic, but now we've got to put the foot on the gas. I'm going to go to Highsmith. He's found a lineup. I don't know how many saw it coming that, wow, you put Duncan Robinson, Hayward, Highsmith in your starting lineup, it works. But he keeps stirring the pot until he finds something. He doesn't say, we're going to play this over-the-top style with Tyreek and Waddle, and when they take that away, we got nothing. He continues to adjust and find the best way for his team. And he clearly now is the past 4, and maybe tonight here at Detroit as well.
4 in a row, 6 of 8, 8 of 11. Let's be accurate now. Okay, so, and by the way, there's some quality, unlike Dolphins, there's like some quality wins in there also. Okay, you beat a decent Suns team, you beat a very good Cleveland Cavs team,
and even Milwaukee or even the Lakers when they were whole. Even the Lakers when they were whole, also you could say it was an off night by LeBron and AD, but they found a way. So yeah, this recent stretch, and that's why I almost point to these 4 games more, because let's face it, I know Jimmy didn't play, but after that night in Boston, it was like, here we're going to see against quality. And I'm really curious, Big O, because the next time we talk, we'll have already seen these games. Then you have Oklahoma City on Friday this week coming up, and the Magic, who still are finding a way on Saturday coming up in Orlando. So we're starting to get a feel now into the meat of the schedule against good teams. And you know what? You're a game out of 3rd place in the loss column in the East. You're competitive again. You've put yourself in that position. You can't take your foot off the gas right now, but you've showed at your best what you could look like.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, that's the thing. So we'll see. I mean, again, I don't have high expectations for this team. I didn't have them from the get-go, but I expect competent basketball, and that's what I'm starting to see, from them overall, because that's what I expect from Eric Spoelstra. I expect competent basketball. I'm not going to ask what's not realistic from him. Oh, yeah, no, there's a team that should go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Or beat Boston, right?
Yeah, come on, man. Let's not get crazy here. But overall, that's finding, Highsmith. By the way, he's such an interesting story, because talk about a young man that's faced adversity on and off the court, and that could play with anybody. You know, that could mess with someone.
Oh, absolutely. What happened last year, the car incident that could have happened to any of us on a dark road, someone stranded, you try to help, you wind up not seeing something, that could happen. But this kid's career has been like that.
But not only that, you play and then you're on the bench for a while, and then you're playing, you're getting, and that messes with you also. Yet, dude, he's so professional. He's so Keith Askins that he stays ready all the time. And, you know, I use Keith Askins because that was a guy that wasn't always playing, but was always ready for, oh, hey, we need to shut this guy down. Okay, go play defense. Oh, we need a three-pointer. You know, help out. You know, whatever it was, he helped out. He was always ready. Those kind of guys, they're hard to find, and it's the maturity that you have to be a professional every day like that. Met props to Highsmith.
Well, and again, look at some of the players that he'd find from the smaller schools. Duncan Robinson started a Division III school before Michigan. Haywood Highsmith was at Division II Wheeling University. These guys know what it's like to climb up. These guys aren't the entitled, I'm a first-round pick, give me my money, give me my shoe deal, have my people with me, have your entourage. It's a different kind of character, and that meshes so well with Eric Spoelstra, with the University of Portland player, with the guy who played Division II pro basketball, Spo briefly, in Germany. They can appreciate what it means to be here. And you see that difference with those kind of players. How many have we seen? The Gabe Vincents, the Max Struses, the Caleb Martins, guys willing to fight. When you're willing to fight, you will go that extra yard.
Talk to me about Jimmy Butler right now. Where do you see him? Because it's not like I'm seeing a guy's going all out all the time.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was talking to someone about that the other day. Yes, you could say that he still played in over 3/4 of the game. But Big O, that's something I get to see when I'm at the games and not just seeing what's in that camera frame. This is not 100% Jimmy Butler every night. It is just not. It's not as bad as that Charlotte game when he stood in the corner, but I remember the Toronto game when he wasn't much. And even the most recent victory, it's not like it was a Jimmy Butler victory. He sort of, I don't want to say was along for the ride, but that's basically how it played out before we headed out here to Detroit for this game with the Toronto game Thursday at Kaseya Center. So here's the deal, and I do see this two ways. Big O, there are some people who say they want to see everyday Jimmy Butler if there's any chance of paying him or keeping him. But there's other people, Big O, who were saying, I don't want Jimmy burned out for the playoffs. I want to see one more chance if there's playoff Jimmy Butler, because no one's going to give a rat's ass what happened in November or December or January if Jimmy Butler can get you, I doubt it, but into June. So there's two ways of looking at it. Do you want him pushing hard? Do you want him giving 1,000% every minute he's on the court to show at 35 he still has it? So I can understand the push-pull. And what's interesting, before I came on for today's Acura Pembroke Pines Report, I was almost wondering if Big O was going to be angry at the Heat winning, because he's going to go, oh, I see it already. The Heat are going to say we have a good team and we don't need to trade Jimmy Butler and everything is fine. Everything is fine, folks. When just a week ago or 2 weeks ago against Boston, it hardly was anything but fine when they got blown out in Boston, when Boston was shorthanded. So, Big O, do these victories hearten you, or do they concern you that the Heat might say, hey, this is good enough, we'll hang on to Jimmy? Maybe we'll talk extension in the offseason.
No, listen, I'm not going to sit here and wanting them to lose. The basketball season is really long. That's not what it's all about. I told you what I want this season to be about. I want it to be about development, about young guys, to find out what they have. The Jimmy Butler thing, what I want from Jimmy Butler is I want to trade his ass. And so, yes, I need to see him excel in those key games. Like tonight, I don't need Jimmy Butler 35 minutes, going all out and 25 points and all that. No. When you have a couple of really good opponents coming up, that's when I need you to shine and help the Heat overcome that. The young guys should help you. You should be Mr. Facilitator today, Mr. Support Guy today, and you can easily coast over Detroit. But when the better teams come up, I need you to start shining in those moments. I need you to do that kind of stuff, because you need to either get in the groove of winning and being in that winning mode with the team, and two, at the same time, you need to showcase your skills. So if you really want that contract from somebody else, you're going to need to show them that you can be that guy in those big moments against teams that matter. So all parties involved need Jimmy Butler to actually be playoff Jimmy at certain moments, not all the time. It's basketball. It's a long season. Those of us that are smart enough, we know we don't need you to burn yourself out in every game, but you do need to put it on display every once in a while.
Orlando Alzagari, let me ask you something here, and it's a question I got a feeling I'll ask for the next 2 months on our Acura Pembroke Pines report, and that's this. If the Heat are in third or fourth place and competitive for home court and no more play-in at the end of January, would you still advocate for a Jimmy Butler trade from a position like that where this could be a contending season? Or would you put it off till June and take your chances in free agency and a sign and trade?
What deal do I have on the table?
Well, you know what? As we've learned through Shams reporting and others, unless you let people know that someone's to market, teams aren't going to put out names for this reason. We've seen the BS we've dealt with the last week. Oh, Bradley Beal's been thrown out there. Oh, player X, Y, and Z are thrown out there. Teams aren't going to do that. Teams know that people talk. Even if the Heat don't talk, agents talk. Other people talk. So you are going to have to make it known through your back channels at the end of January, where the Heat are 10 games over 500, where the Heat are in fourth place in the Eastern Conference, where the Heat are positioned not to play the Celtics until the conference finals, that you're still open for market, or do you delay that in hopes of another playoff run?
Okay. Example. Calais Campbell was up for trade. I said trade him. They hung on because, they want to make a run. Brother, you're not winning anything. Trade his ass, and supposedly it was a fourth or fifth rounder. Stupid move on their part to not trade him. I would have traded him in a heartbeat. Okay? The Heat, they're not winning jack shit. So if you have a good deal on the table, some multiple picks for Jimmy, 2 first rounders or something, some team wants him for I trade him in a heartbeat. I free up my cap space. I now start getting my picks that I need in order to really turn over this roster. And if somehow or another I can make another great deal for Tyler Hero and even a Terry Rozier, then I'm going to do that too. And I'm going to get all my picks, and I'm going to start getting liquid, and I'm going to redo this roster the right way to help Eric Spoelstra, not give him, a grocery list that is not complete, and yet he has to try to make the best meal possible. He cannot make this team a championship caliber team. That's what they're all about, those banners. So it's not about getting maybe to the second round or something. So if I have a good deal on the table, I am trading Jimmy Butler. Yes.
It's interesting. In my Sunday column with the Sun Sentinel, I wrote a column with these 2 questions right at the top. Would the Heat trade Jimmy Butler? Should the Heat trade Jimmy Butler? 2 different questions.
Yes, I saw it.
I don't think the Heat would, because they have never in season, except when Shaq refused to put his butt into games, traded more quality for less in the moment quality. God bless Sean Marion. Should the Heat trade? You've got to have that war chest. This league, the NBA's Bitcoin are future first-round picks. That's what gets you to your next star. And the Heat's trove is almost at least half robbed, half empty, because they owe a future pick to Oklahoma City Thunder. They owe a future pick to the Charlotte Hornets. They need to restock. I think they should. I don't think they will. There's 2 divergent approaches. You have a team that has refused to step back. So I think the compromise is this: trading Jimmy for another player, maybe a player who makes less money, but someone who can still contribute. And you know what? You know what you're doing then, Big O? You're just spinning the plates, and you're just juggling and trying to keep the balls in the air, but you're never saying drop the ball, reset, wash your hands, come clean. Look, God bless them if they do. Maybe with Nick Harrison and Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg, they realize this is a new salary cap world. This isn't the Mets crapping out in the playoffs and saying, hey, Juan Soto, we'll give you $746 million. Come on down. This is a salary cap league. You have to find a way to make it work. I really do wonder if the NBA's new economics finally hit home for the Heat with how draconian the luxury tax aprons are.
I mean, dude, I'm an idiot compared to Andy Ellisberg and Pat Riley, and I see it. I'm a complete moron compared to those people, and I see it. And I'm not the guy to tell you, you take a step back. Oh, you guys are frauds and this. No, dude, you need to take a couple steps back. It's all right. You guys have given your fan base, God, a beautiful 25 years, man. You're entitled to do this. This is the smart thing for you guys to do. And it's just the way they used to do things. It worked. But it just doesn't work like that anymore. You just can't overcome that like that anymore, like they used to be able to do. And unfortunately, these tax aprons and all this stuff is so punitive, it has put them behind the 8 ball. And man, I just wish they would take a couple of steps back to take a bunch of steps forward. You have proven that you can find people and develop them to go get yourself some more capital. You guys can work wonders with that shit.
Andy Ellisberg knows that. He's a master with the numbers. He's going to do our taxes this year. Pat Riley's a little different. Pat Riley doesn't step back. Pat Riley's an MFer. Pat Riley wants to win now. So I think it'll be interesting to see the powers of persuasion from Andy Ellisberg, from Nick Arison, from Adam Simon to a degree, and also Eric Spoelstra, who I believe would be willing to step back. Eric Spoelstra loves to craft. Eric Spoelstra loves to go, we talked about that cauldron, and see what he can churn out instead. And I think it would be healthy for Eric Spoelstra to maybe move on from this build and then see what he can do with the next build. Because again, Big O, how many builds have there been under Eric Spoelstra? There was the Michael Beasley's the answer, no, he's not the answer build. There was the Big Three build. There was the Dwayne Solo build. There was the Goran Dragic build. There was the Jimmy Butler build. And through each one of those, we've never seen Spoelstra wane. I think he's young enough, mentally and physically, that I think he has another build in him. So I do agree with that.
The blood clot years were holy crap, dude.
Would have devastated a lesser man, and yet there they were. They were back with Goran and a rebrought back in Dwayne Wade and one game in Toronto from going to the conference finals against LeBron James and the championship Cavaliers. They were that close even that year. And let's be honest.
He's God. He's God. He's the God of coaches.
Even the year they went to the finals against the Nuggets in 2023, by what right in hell did they have to be there? But they found a way. He found a way. I don't think no matter what the Heat do, they will ever take a step back to what you're seeing at the pits at the bottom of the league, the Joe Cronin's Portland Trailblazers just wandering aimlessly in there. Some of the teams like the Charlotte Hornets in the East, even with the worst rebuild in Miami, it won't reach that point.
No, but at least, but if you take a step back or two, it won't be for long because that's not who you guys are. But if it gets you back to getting the chess pieces you need, the poker chips that you need to play this game, God bless you, man, that's what you really need, unfortunately. And you're not going to get it the way you're doing it now, and you keep giving away a pick, and then it just keeps getting away from you, all that stuff. It's just hard, man. It's really hard. It makes it harder on Spo. And you have the best coach in the league. Take advantage of this tenure while you have it. Give him the best possible teams you can give him so he has a chance at championships, not just playoff appearances.
And draft capital builds it. Boston built through all those picks the Nets gave him for Pierce and Brown, for Tatum and Brown. Look at Cleveland. They got all the picks. They traded it for Donovan Mitchell. They did it also. That's what teams on the come. The Knicks might not have been the best deal, those 5 first-round picks from Mikal Bridges, but God bless them. They went all in on this build of the team because they felt they were ready. They hoarded those first-round picks. You look at the top of the Eastern Conference. Orlando, in-house. They've grown with Banchero, with Wagner. They've used their picks. There's very few examples anymore. Well, they're the story, but here's the difference. But they were living in crap town for a while also. They were horrible. That's the difference. Some of these other teams, they hoarded their picks, they spent their picks, they move forward. You've got to have them. The Heat don't. The Heat sent one out with Terry Rozier. Huge mistake. I think they realize that right now. They sent one out when they were doing the Jimmy Butler deal. Hey, it paid off for 2 trips to the finals. I'm fine with that. You have to get them, and you have to spend them correctly. Maybe the Knicks wind up getting penalized with the Mikal Bridges trade. That we still have to wait to see.
All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Well, it was really interesting. Eric Spoelstra said all the right things about Thomas Bryant leaving. That opens an important roster spot. Right now, the Heat would rather have Drew Smith on a standard deal than Thomas Bryant. It made all the sense in the world. But he said, hey, in our history of towel waivers, going back to Myers, Leonard, and beyond, Thomas Bryant was always a good soldier and always did right by us. And that also tells you something about the classiness of the Heat. That Thomas Bryant wanted to play. They knew that Indiana needed a big man, and they worked with Thomas Bryant. They worked with his agent. They asked for nothing in return. A second-round swap in 2031 that'll probably never happen. They take care of those players. That's a very good exercise to figure out. Talking about sacrifice, I'm going to post a story in a little while on Kevin Love, who realizes he doesn't fit in some games. And he understands that it might be Jovic taking his minutes instead, where the other teams are popping three and he can't. In many ways, Kevin Love has taken over that Udonis Haslem role. If he plays great, he'll give you his best, but he's not going to get in the way of everyone. And that shows how Kevin, back at his low salary, basically minimal, has worked out for the Heat as well. And, of course, getting ready for today's game against the Pistons tonight in awful weather Detroit here.
And by the way, if they do make the playoffs, it'll be a blessing in disguise because you're going to keep him fresher. I'm talking about Kevin Love for the playoffs. Whereas you might have overused him at times in the past at his age.
Out of desperation and necessity, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and he was terrific, by the way. God bless him. He was terrific. But now he's getting a little older. And because you're trying to work those young guys, this actually might help you for the playoffs for Kevin Love too.
And the Thomas Bryant trade might help for the playoffs because right now Drew Smith is not eligible to play in the playoffs on a two-way contract. So if he continues, and I don't know, let's not overstate 2 weeks, but if he does, he would be playoff eligible by being switched to a standard deal. So it really is a win-win-win-win, 4-game winning streak, making the trade that alleviates some tax problems and gets them another open roster spot. Been a really good week for the Miami Heat. Now we'll see if it can continue tonight in Detroit. More importantly, really looking forward to when the Thunder, who are really good, even with Holmgren sideline, come in on Friday.
By the way, obviously the Butler and even Tyler, we've talked about since he's playing so well, building up that value to move him. Do you think there's any chance they could ever move Rozier?
Here's the problem. You can only move him with additional capital, and you already gave up additional capital in the first-round pick. I have a theory, and this even includes whether they can bring back Jimmy Butler. They can clear their books enough to bring back Jimmy Butler if they offload next year's salaries of Rozier and Robinson. So here's the question. Is Duncan Robinson enough of a value to a contender where maybe you can package Duncan with Terry? Lose Terry, get a shooter to a team. Hell, maybe the Warriors want to replace Klay Thompson, want another shooter. The Lakers desperately need shooting. Keep an eye out on Duncan Robinson, who has done his part and is playing well. But like you said, sometimes you have to make the tough decisions to alleviate things. If I can offload Duncan Robinson, God bless him, and Terry Rozier is with them at the airport, that could be win-win for the Heat as well. I'd keep an eye out for that possibility.
That's crafty. I like that. I like
that.
I don't want to lose Duncan, but it's about trying to get picks, trying to create flexibility, all those kind of things that Miami has lacked in order to really take that next step. So I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat, and please subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and support Ira and all the other terrific writers there. Ira, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it immensely. We will catch up next week.
Keep buzzing here in Detroit. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. Acura Pembroke Pines, they got it going on. Some great lease features. We've been telling you about the 2025 Integra right now, 3.9% financing for 60 months, $339 a month. The RDX 2025 model right now in stock for immediate delivery. Man, go out there, check it out, the ILX. How about the ZDX? Get electrified, $449 a month. They've got 0.9% financing for 72 months. It is one of the top EV SUVs in the country, and it is there at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
right. We hit 107, by the way. We're right now at 106,940 on Bitcoin, which is a beautiful thing. There we go. 957. Why don't you show 107 to the boys and girls out there, huh? Let's go. Come on. Pump it up, homeboys. Let's go. Give me 107 right now. Show the folks 107. Come on. Do it. Man, tell you. Hope you're having half the Monday I am. That's all I'm telling you. Half the Monday. That's all. Just half. That's all I want. NorCal says, Sean, my buzz must be canceling out the buzzing from your show because I don't hear it. Oh, so the listeners weren't hearing the buzz you and I were hearing? That's good, at least.
No, they were listening. They were hearing it because they were recording it. So there were some, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Ocala Joe says, I find it that if someone is shitty on his personal life, they're usually carried over to their work life. Talking about Hill. Yep. Let's see. The only thing I blame for Greer is for the O-line. That's the team's playing and development falls clearly on McDaniel. His play calling and team management is bad. Advice to Greer, fire him now. If they don't fire him, then that means that they're tied. You know what I mean? So it's like I've told you before, as much as I like the front office guys, I can't defend the two coaches. And that's their hires. And as I told you, it's like, well, what's happening here? Are they going to give them a chance to hire a third coach? That's where they have struggled. Probably not. Dan B says, can't blame Greer for the O-line. If the coach tells you I don't need anyone, we're good. It's time for Greer to take the bulls by the horn and let McDaniel know what he needs. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Wiggins can flourish in a heat system. Or Kuminga. That's what everybody talks about. Everybody talks about Kuminga. Our bench is scary with Terry. Pat Riley is the GOAT. He is. No doubt. Big O, should I buy kryptonite? Have you done your homework? Do you believe in kryptonite is the question. That's what you must ask yourself. Okay? I have kryptonite, but, you have to do your own homework on that, my friend. You have to decide. But yes, I own my kryptonite. Did not sell my kryptonite. I have it sitting there. I'm waiting for Say to take off. This is Say's first bull run. So it could be a slower run for them because they're not fully, built out yet. And so once they are, then it should take off. But this is their first bull run. So that when they make their push, it's going to be more on potential, kind of like what Cardano did in the last bull run. That's what Caspa is doing on this bull run right now. They're not fully built out either. So you're investing more in Caspa on potential. And so with Kryptonite Sailor, you're doing the same thing. It's on the potential of it. So yes, sir. But it's up to you. You got to do your homework. Sidney Sweeney for Butler in a heartbeat. Oh, first, maybe a little bit more time. Also, would you call the Dolphins soft under Flores? Yeah, they lost to all the tough teams that last year. So yeah, you're soft. Jimmy Johnson was Mr. Tough Guy, and his teams folded like a cheap tent in the playoffs. I am not concerned about quantum computing. You can go look at either the last episode of the Crypto Bro Show or the one before, and I explained that it's all silliness that they're talking about. But anyway, but it's good. It's good drama, and it's good to scare people and keep you away from Bitcoin, like they did when it was 16,000 and what is 20 and 50 and 70, and now that it's 100, but hey, just keep coming up with excuses to deny it. China's going to ban it. Oh, the U.S. is going to ban it. Oh, it's not real. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's hackable. It's quantum computing now. It's just, dude, it's just one after another, after another, after another, and after another. And you know what, bro? It does a great job of keeping you all stupid. That's all. If you thought it was a Ponzi scheme, they keep you stupid. If the government, like Elizabeth Warren, is scaring you and saying it's all about drug dealers when it's all money that they use drug dealing, they don't want to use Bitcoin for illegal purposes because it's an open ledger that can be easily tracked. But it's great to scare you, and quantum computing, and it's great to scare you. And the China banning, and it's great to scare you, and the U.S. banning, and it's great to scare you, and it's going to zero, and it's great to scare you, and just continues, dude. And meanwhile, all you've done, dude, is lose a shit ton of money because you refuse to do your own homework and realize that Bitcoin's run on 2 different math sources and a random letter. And how are you going to guess that random letter and solve all the math equations? Not going to happen. But whatever, dude. Yeah, because quantum computing is also going to be great at guessing, just like AI was going to break it too, and then they figured out that they can. And it's just, I forgot about the AI one. There's been so many things because they know the importance of it. And the evil people have been wanting to stop it because it's going to hurt them. It's like Peter Schiff and all his gold and talking so bad about Bitcoin because he knows it will minimize gold. Everybody has an agenda. And the agenda is to keep you stupid, keep you misinformed, and keep you from making money and helping your families. Not that I'm a financial advisor, not that I know anything about this. I'm a complete idiot, so don't even listen to me. Okay? Do your own homework. Fins are so bad that drones over New Jersey went to South Florida and formed a middle finger over Hard Rock. Big O, a little music trivia. This is right up your alley. The lead singer of Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson, does what skill or other profession on the side? Fly planes. He's a pilot. Used to be the pilot for Ed Force One, but now he's no longer the pilot for Ed Force One. But he did it, I want to say, for the first 2 tours of it. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to regret this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it back, but here is Ed Force One. So there you go. Bruce Dickinson flies this plane. Ed Force One. Okay. There you go. Got it right next to my oh, damn it. Okay. I got it in. All right. I was afraid because it's right next to the Millennium Falcon, and then I've got an X-Wing fighter and a TIE fighter. So I had to kind of place it like right in the middle. But I wanted to show you, since you tested my trivia knowledge on that. So I got it, and then show you a little extra to it. What do we have here? 106, 832. Get back to 107, you bastards. What else do we have here? Do you mind PI at all? Yes, I do, actually. Yes, I do. I have Crypto Chronic. Well, smoke it up, dude. Roll a big fat one. Kyle Cockrell with the Caspa, baby. A quantum computer with around 13 quid bits could theoretically break Bitcoin's encryption. Today's most advanced quantum systems are with only a few hundred qubits. Yeah, it's not going to happen because there's two different forms of math and a random letter. It's the part that people leave out. So, yeah, not going to happen. But that's all right. Whatever. Bank accounts, yeah, they're hackable. Yes. Anyway. By the way, you know what's funny about the quantum computing? So it's going to hack missile bases and aircraft carriers and hospitals and banks. I mean, yeah, you know, might as well. If it's going to hack the most powerful computer in the world, which is Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys know that. You could get like, I don't know, the most powerful computers that are out there, like 5 or 6 of them, put them together, and they don't even come close to Bitcoin and the hash rate and everything else, okay? Most secure network out there. So it's going to break that. So then I guess it's going to set off all the nuclear weapons for Russia and for the United States and China, and it's going to hack all the banks. And, you know, since it's going to hack Bitcoin, right, it's going to hack. It's funny how the idiots want to lead you just to Bitcoin, but if it's going to hack Bitcoin, then it can hack everything else. Hack hospitals and banks and governments and warships and everything else, right? Yep, quantum computing is going to hack everything and ruin the entire world. So while it does that, don't invest in Bitcoin. Just think about that. Just, you know, maybe sit down, relax a little bit, have some common sense, and then, you know, just go at it. But if you want to keep, believing all the bullshit that they just want to keep throwing out there and keep throwing out there and keep throwing out there, just go ahead, dude. That's fine. You know. Anyway, correct. He is a pilot. You got it right. Yeah, that one I knew. That one I knew a little bit. You want to see the Falcon? No. I don't want to move that one. No, it's too big. It's giant, dude. I got a big ass Millennium Falcon. Like, no. I don't want to cause a big ruckus. So, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. You know what I can do? This is what I can do. I can actually send Sean a picture of the Millennium Falcon because there's no way I'm touching that bitch all the way up there and moving it. No way. But I'll send you the picture, Sean, and then you can bring it up and people can see the Millennium Falcon that I have there. I just can't. There's no way I'm moving that. There's just too much cluster there, and I know I'm going to knock shit down. There's a Lego of a helmet of a stormtrooper that my daughter built, and I'm such a goofball that I will end up knocking that thing down, and the Legos will go all over the place, and then, you know, my daughter will lose her mind if she has to rebuild that thing. So yeah, I can't do that. So there, but we'll get you a picture of it, at least. We'll get you a picture of it. You can see it. Big O, hear me out. 40 years of Finns trying everything and still losing all the injuries. Say Indian curse does exist. Robbie passed 5 years after groundbreaking. Just a coincidence. No, dude, the Marlins have won 2 titles there. Forget the Indian curse stuff, bro. Okay? Stop it already with that. So there you go. There's the Falcon. See? I have it like that, leaning, and then all the other things are right around it, and I have to reach above and over to bring it down, and it's giant. It's about this big. Okay? Yeah, about this big. So it's a giant Millennium Falcon. So I cannot, in my right mind, bring it down because I'm just going to create a ruckus. As you can see, the Ed Force One is flying right next to it. You can actually notice it there in the picture because I was able to place Ed Force One right back in the middle of it. Yeah. What I really wanted to do is have it hanging from the roof, flying, all the things flying, like, see-through strings and things like that. But I'm not crafty enough to do that kind of stuff in the studio. But I did want to do that. By the way, did we get to 107 again? 106,951. What kind of shit is that? Let's go. Slackers. Let's get over to 107 again. Jesus. What happened yesterday in the NFL? The Chefs, they improved to 13-1. They outlasted the Browns. Miami still plays the Browns. The Commanders improved to 9-5. They defeat the Santos 20-19. Jaden Daniels, 25 of 31, 226, 2 touchdowns, 11 for 66 yards on the ground. So 9-5 for Washington. Pretty damn good. Ravens defeat the Giants, 35-14. Giants suck. But Lamar was amazing. Had 5 touchdowns, 290 in the game. Jets defeat the Jags, 32-25. Miami's. I told you that Miami will lose one of the 2 Jets games. They're going to lose this one. We're back to 107. Damn it, 106,998. I'm selling everything. Denver defeats Indy, 31-13. Denver's 9-5. Bo Nix, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 20 of 33, 130 yards, and they still won, 31-13. How did Miami lose to Indy? That's why you fire McDaniel, but not going to happen. Bills defeat the Lions, 48-42. Bills improved to 11-3. Lions dropped to 12-2. An onside kick with 12 minutes left. And by the way, Sean Stanley, who recovered that onside kick and took it to the 5-yard line for the Bills? Do you know?
I'm going to say, since you're bringing up, it must have been Mac Hollins.
Damn right. Oh, you didn't see the play? You don't know anything about this?
No, I didn't watch that part of it. No, I turned it on later in the game.
So the meathead cuts the game to 38-28. Okay? And he decides, with 12 minutes left, to do an onside kick. He is the Tin Cup coach, bro. Men Campbell he is not a great game day coach, okay? He is a riverboat gambler, and he's a tough guy and all that kind of stuff and everything, but he does a lot of stupid shit, dude. Like a lot of stupid shit. So they lose on the not only that, Mac Hollins returns it to the 5. Anyway, Josh Allen was awesome. 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 for 68 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff threw 5 touchdowns and 494 yards, 48-42 for the Bills. They're 11-3. Dolphins still have time to catch up to them. Anyway, Detroit is 12-2. Eagles defeat the Steelers 27-13, and they hate their coach. It's amazing. Phillies 12-2. Pittsburgh drops to 10-4. Bucks over the Chargers 40-17. Both teams are 8-6. And the Packers over the Seahawks. Packers look good, 30-13. Green Bay's 10-4. Seattle's 8-6. Love 20 of 27, 229, and 2 touchdowns. They can play, man. Physical defense. They can win at the line of scrimmage. The Packers. Just a good team overall, man. It's a good team overall. Let's see. What else do we have here? Alarmo will protect you guys from any quantum computer. You know that. Alarmo protects all. If we had 5 Alarmos, the Dolphins could win a Super Bowl. So, That's kind of the key there. Who do you think will make the Super Bowl, and who do you would like to? Well, I definitely want to see the Chefs for sure in it. Let me see. Because the Chefs are going for something that nobody's ever done. That's 3 in a row. So I definitely want to see the Chefs in there. Plus, for many years, I defended Andy Reid when they would pick on him in Philadelphia because he wouldn't win the big one. And so, it was like, oh, he's a choker and all that kind of stuff. And to me, I never looked at him that way. I always thought he was a phenomenal, phenomenal coach. So for show purposes, give me Kansas City and Detroit, just because Man Campbell is great for the entire 2 weeks. He'll get the sound bites. He'll do crazy shit in the Super Bowl and lose. So, and Philadelphia, I mean, I don't know. You guys saw that scene when he was trying to approach Jalen Carter on the sidelines, and the defensive coordinator is getting between the player and the head coach and telling him, get the hell out of here and all that. I mean, the team doesn't like its own head coach, and they're still overcoming it. But just because of that, I don't want anything to do with Philadelphia in there. So I would rather have Detroit and Man Campbell get there if he can actually get there without doing something stupid that gets him eliminated. KC and Detroit in the Super Bowl is what I want. Okay? That's what I want. Give me that. And I'll be happy as a sports fan. Well, how about the beatdown Tampa Bay Bucks put on the Chargers? At least one Florida NFL team woke up this past weekend. Mike Evans making the Chargers look like the worst defense. Yep, they are bad. Jamie Zoria says, I know nobody remembers, but I was off the Tyreek train when the off the field issues started popping up. Same as with D. Watson. I cannot look into my daughter's eyes and root for these people. Yeah. Yep. Bills are the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. Okay. They could be the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. That's good. I'll still go with Kansas City. My 43 years of life, no Super Bowl, not sure how many years I have left. What would the bet look like to get a Super Bowl win before I die? Joe, right now, it's not looking good for us. Well, for you, 43 years, you got some time left. I'm at 58, bro. So I got less time than you, dude. I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like I'm going to be celebrating a Super Bowl anytime soon as a fan. That I can tell you. I will celebrate another Heat championship before I celebrate a Super Bowl. I will celebrate 2 or 3 Stanley Cups before I celebrate a Super Bowl. I'm not mentioning the Canes. I'm not doing that. Mario Cristobal and Mike McDaniel, there's not much of a difference there. They look different and all that, but when it comes to trusting them, it's kind of the same thing on game day. I don't trust either guy. I have to be honest. I have lost pretty much all trust in Mario Cristobal. Sorry. Hateful Steve is in the house. After next year, we'll be shedding talent because of cap issues. And I think even you can agree, Tua can't succeed on a rebuilding team, much less physically survive it. So my question is his fate as a Dolphin sealed? Is he gone after this year? No, he's not gone after this year. Not even close. No. They will keep him for a while until he knocks himself out of the league. So a couple of years, I'd say 2-3 years. He'll be out of the league soon. If he keeps playing like this, he'll be out of the league soon. He'll knock himself out eventually. Peter German, thank you for making even the most horrible losses tolerable. Your humor and your insight pull me off the ledge. Thank you. Appreciate you, Peter. Thank you, sir, and appreciate the Cash App or Venmo
at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we appreciate you all out there as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting us. Very nice of you all. All right. What else do we have going on? And you can use the QR codes, by the way, on Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And you can also make a PayPal donation too, by the way. That's another one that you can make. PayPal also. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff also on PayPal. Greer hired Flores and McDaniel. Total failure of the organization to allow Greer to hire another head coach. If we see the same crap next season, Fins wipe slate clean and rebuild Groundhog Day. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if that's what happens, yes, you are correct. They probably will clean house because they're not going to clean house this year. Okay? And as much as I want to see McDaniel gone, which sucks for me because I pretty much lost all hope for next year already with Mike McDaniel as your coach. You know what I mean? I just can't. So I'd rather have the Ravens instead of the Bills or the Chiefs. Yeah, no, I'll take the Chiefs. They have the real quarterback. So yeah. How long is Jonnu Smith under contract? A couple years. I believe it's a 2-year deal, right? I want to say it's one of those 2-year specials. 1 year? Oh, no, you're giving a thumbs up. Yes, it's a 2-year deal. Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, 2-year deal. Big O, when I first saw your hat today, I thought it was a Boston Bruins logo, but I knew better. LOL. Yeah, of course, bro. Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins. Nah, baby. Nah, there's only one boss in town. Okay? There's only one boss in town, and he goes to 107,000 on a Monday. That's the boss right there. 107,000 on a Monday. That is just awesome. Look at that, 106,988. Go ahead. Just tick back over 107. Just show the folks 107. There you go. There you go. There you go. Love it. Too much. Too much. You want to make your Dolphin Sunday, your depressing Dolphin Mondays better? Get Bitcoin. You'll feel better on a sorry Dolphins Monday. You'll feel better on a sorry Saturday Canes. Okay? You'll feel better after Inter Miami chokes away with Messi. Does Messi realize he's one of the biggest chokers in the history of South Florida sports? He probably doesn't care because it doesn't matter to him, right? But I don't know. They should tell him. I know the Argentine people in our town, they don't care, obviously. But the rest of us that, we're not from Argentina. We don't root for anything Argentina. Not that we're against it or anything, but we don't root for it. I don't know. I wonder if does Messi know he's one of the biggest chokers in the history of South Florida sports? Do they remind him? They say, "Hey, dude, we know you're the GOAT worldwide. You're the greatest ever, but just so you'll know, in South Florida, you're a monster choker, dude. Like, you're one of the biggest chokers. You're right up there with Vinny Testaverde and Jimmy Johnson. You're right next to LeBron James." I wonder if anybody tells him that. Do they remind him? They tell him, dude, you need to redeem yourself because you're forever known. Like, That's how it is here in South Florida. People are going to look at you and say, dude can't even get by. By the way, you can F now with international fans. F them all. F with them, all of them. When they tell you about international soccer or if they ever tell you all that stuff, go, hey, dude, isn't Messi the greatest ever? Yeah, he is. Or second best. They'll do the Madonna Pele thing. Maradona, I'm sorry. So you tell them, so let me ask you something, dude. So the MLS sucks. With a loaded team, that guy couldn't even get out of the first round against sorry Atlanta. Please explain that one to me, dude. Because he was healthy and resting for 2 months. Just explain. Have him explain that to you. Because I'm still trying to understand it myself. Because all I hear from international fans is how bad the MLS is. How bad the MLS sucks. Which I get it. But damn, dude, a bunch of superstars with maybe the greatest MLS roster ever, and they can't even get out of the first round. So, I don't know. I don't know. He probably doesn't care, but he should know. He is one of the greatest chokers of all time. By the way, it puts a damper on the season next year. None of the games mean anything until you get to the playoffs. It's like, yeah, dude, whatever. I don't care if you have a hat trick. I don't care if you guys score 8 goals on somebody. Do you win in the playoffs? Maybe they should be. Hold on a second. Hold on. Sean, wait a minute. I figured this out, Sean. Did Inter Miami not create their own Dolphins jersey this year? The Dolphin curse fell on Inter Miami. All of a sudden, they donned the Dolphin colors, and they played exactly like the Dolphins in the playoffs. They played just like the Dolphins would play in a big moment. In big moments, because they had to lose 2 of 3. And at home. I mean, that's really so Dolphins. You get eliminated and you're home. By the way, anybody, if you know Jorge Mas, if you hang out with him or whatever, you might want, hey, George, let's eliminate that Dolphin jersey. We don't want to have any relations with Aqua and Orange. Just saying. Whew. Telling you. What do I think of all those flying drones? Shoot them down. And then track who's flying them and beat the crap out of those people. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? They're closing down airports and shit like that. No. This is just like those Palestinian assholes. Okay? Same thing. You want to block a bridge? Bro, jail the hell out of all these idiots. Okay? You want to protest? You go ahead and protest. Don't disrupt innocent people. You know what I'm saying? And if these drones are interrupting the lives of innocent people, jail all these assholes. Every single one of them. You want to block a highway? Put every one of those assholes in jail for 30 to 60 days. Let's see if they do that again. And put them in county. Put them in Gen Pop for 30 to 60 days. See how they come out of there too. See if they want to do that next time. Every one of them. Okay? So yeah, I'm not in when you're disrupting people's lives. Whatever it is you're doing, laser pointing at some pilots, flying drones, shutting down airports, your protests, you're blocking streets and bridges and places where emergencies could take place and people have to get there. No. F you, bro. You all go to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect, nothing. Every one of you. Not only do you go to jail, you go to jail with a foot in your ass. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm allowing them to kick their ass too in the process if they get out of line. Yeah, do that. That's what I'm there for. Brother, I'm 58 years old. I've never had to do any of that kind of stuff. So I don't comprehend that either myself. I've been at protests. I have. I'm Cuban. You know what we do? We go, we march, we go to the tower where the fire is down there in downtown. We stand at Versailles and Coretta. We hit our pants, we honk, and we go home. We don't interrupt anybody. We don't tear down the walls. We don't light anything on fire. We don't do anything. Nothing. Cubans, just telling you. You want to protest? Protest the way Cubans protest. Cubans protest the right way. Okay? That's how you're supposed to protest. You speak your piece, but you don't go destroying the neighborhood. We don't do that. Never. We don't do any of that. We don't go blocking bridges. We don't go blocking the highway. We don't do any of that shit. We do the same thing we do when the heat win. We hit pots and pans. We drive down 8th Street, Bird Road. And then obviously in our case for Cubans, we go down to the Freedom Tower and we have our vigils and all that. And then we leave. That's it. So, my people set a good example on how to really protest. Those Palestinian assholes, I'd jail every one of those guys and women. Every single one of them. That's all. So you want to know how I feel? That's how I feel. Anyway, I think Inter Miami should rename their franchise to the Dolphins right now. Yeah, I think they should. Yeah, the Inter Miami Aqua Chokers. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Dolphins should take the black and pink. We should give Inter Miami the aqua and orange since they want to take it and they displayed it so beautifully in the first round. Maybe we should give them aqua and orange and then we take the black and pink. Maybe that's what we should do. Switch. Yeah. That's a good thing. You're saying things that make sense, and they don't like that. That's true, the Drew. Usually that's what we do on this show. We try to make sense, and then yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? We have 107. Now it's hanging above 107 now, prominently here. Huh? It's nice how it's been hanging above 107 right now. That's a beautiful seeing, Ming. That means we could get to 108, maybe 110 today. Let's go. Let's go. By the way, I haven't even checked. Is everything else like running really hot? Not really. Ethereum's only up 1%. It did hit 4,000 yesterday, but it's only at 39.55. Oh, it's actually it just went up 2%. It's 39.91. So it's approaching 4,000 again. Okay, so now it's starting to climb a little bit. Chainlink was over $30. It's just under at 29.52. So it's not affecting the rest of the market in a big time way yet. XRP is up 3.5%. It's over to $2.52. So that's good. Injective is up almost 4% to $29. It was over 30 just recently. So it's still not where it was. So the whole crypto market hasn't necessarily blown up yet. And in the stock market, the Dow is down 42 points. The S&P's up 24.5 points. And the NASDAQ is barely up, almost a point. But it's interesting how all that stuff isn't really running, and yet Bitcoin is absolutely ripping, dude. Totally ripping. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Hey, get back over 107. The hell's wrong with you? Let's go. Get back over 107 right now. What are you doing under 107? Let's go. Up. Come on. What's wrong with these people? Damn it. All right, folks, we're out of here. We thank you all out there. We thank Ira Winderman, Sean Stanley. Thank you all. If you sent in a super chat, thank you for supporting our show. Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, thank you. Visit our amazing sponsors. Don't forget, by the way, the Big Cheese. They've got the holiday party platters going on. So if you're about to have a holiday party there at your business, school, get together, whatever it is, you're thinking, how do we cater it? Call BigCheeseMiami.com for pickup or delivery, 305-662-6855. Any dish can become a party platter, and all the sauces are available with any of the dishes. Meat sauce, tomato sauce, Alfredo sauce, or even pink sauce. Call my friends at BigCheeseMiami.com. All right, folks, we shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.